In front of you is a list of Tier 10 vehicles, and as you can read at the top, this is the bottom 20 performing tanks by relative win rate. And surprisingly, the FE2 and 5B 183 is not the worst performer in Tier 10 anymore. It's actually taken over by the Leopard 1 and the FE2 and 5B. Now, the Leopard 1 makes sense, because the Leopard is a vehicle that relies on its skill by the player. It has an incredible gun, it has the most DPM in Tier 10 for a medium, the most accuracy in Tier 10 for a medium, so it's got some great statistics going for it, even great mobility and enough gun depression to work any ridgeline. It's just that the Leopard has no armor, so people that don't understand how to use the tank, which is an overwhelming majority of players, usually do very poor in the vehicle. The FE215B is a tank that went from a fairly strong competitor in Tier 10 due to its 3000 DPM to a vehicle that is now not a fairly strong competitor in Tier 10. The FE2 and 5B isn't very fast, only having a top speed of around 35, which makes no sense because it's really not a well-armored vehicle. In fact, it's incredibly non-well-armored. Its upper plate can be penned by almost any premium shells. Its side armor can be penned by almost any angle in a side scrape even, which is weird because it's a rear-turreted vehicle. So, the only thing it really has going for it is the gun. And even though the gun is nerfed, it's still a decent gun. It's got 2700 damage per minute, which is definitely enough to deal with enemy opponents. So, it's a weird tank. That's all there really is to say about the FE2 and 5B, and yeah, that's why we're playing in it for today's video. Alright, well, we got the AMX 50B who's pushed up fairly aggressive. I'm going to make my way right over here. This is a pretty good spot to get out one shell into your opponent, and then back up into cover. Alright, so now we are going to try and work this position. So, this is a bit of a weird battle, obviously, because right now my heavies are crossing off far side. We do have the AMX 50B over here. We also got the Kron, who is not looking at me right now, which means we can get a free shell right into his lower plate, and let's start reloading. Alright, well that's 800 damage on our pallet. Let's just chill here. Maybe we can get another shell into this Kron, or, you know what, we can get a shell into the IS-7. There you go. Nice tracking shot. This is where the gun's nice. Its dispersion is absolutely fantastic, which means that you can get some very solid shells into enemy opponents quite easily at that. So, we got our heavies off to the side. We got the Kron still looking at me. I'm not going to move until this Kron stops looking at me. So now that he's not looking at me, we get a nice shell into his lower plate. Alright, we've taken off half of that Kran Vong's hit points so far. And now we're just going to continue chilling here. We do have some mediums and heavies off to the other side, which is very solid news for us. And at this point, I'm going to push up towards base A. I think that would be a very solid decision for this team. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's push over here, and let's see if I can get a shell into this 50B. There you go. Nice tap. And now we back up. Now, in this situation, the Kron looks like he's also going to possibly try and get up this hill, but I'm going to shoot a Hesh shell right at the side of this 50B, as this tank does carry some nice Hesh rounds. And yeah, that guy probably didn't enjoy that all too much. Unfortunately for me, this is where the tank just falls apart, because one freaking vehicle that shoots at me just took off all of my health. Now, of course, it's also a 183 that shoots at me, and 183s know how to ruin all fun, so, you know, I'm just worried at this moment about the 183. But look at that. Just look at how quick this thing falls apart. The 183 brought me from basically full health to a one-shot. Thankfully, my IS-7 is going to help me out, but man, is that frustrating. A 183 and a TVP absolutely ruined my tank. Please kill him, IS-7. Thank you very much, good saw. Now we got the VK90 off to the side, and I really don't... Oh, no, IS-7, you drove right into the trap that the other dude drove right into. Let's get a nice shell into the VK90 and get penned right in the side. Well, in this situation, honestly, I don't know what's happening. Our 183 could easily shoot this TVP, and he's not. Is he going to? No. Okay. Alright, well that's fun. I think we should win this, though. Our team has still done a decent job in this situation, but you can definitely see just how quickly the 2 and 5B falls apart. Like, the 183 and that TVP just instantly nuked my hit points from what was fairly healthy, actually full health at 2400, down to, oh no, and our player's lagging out, which is obviously quite poor, and this guy's dead. Oh boy, isn't this fantastic. So, we have turned a fairly competent situation down to maybe not as competent as one. Thankfully, our 50B should finish off this 121B, which he did, and with that, our Sheridan can just drive away. Even though our 140 did lag out, it's not really going to be a big enough lag out, in my opinion, to cause us to lose. All our 183 needs to do is pen this shell, which he's going to do. Thank you, 183, and look at that, we're going to win our battle. Alright, so weird game. I mean, our team kind of did weird here. But yeah, 2 and 5B actually did okay. I can't really get mad at the tank, but I can 100% say if we were using another heavy in that spot, like a Type 71, we would have lasted a heck of a lot longer because not only do I have more hit points, but the Type 71's armor is so much better. A TVP 5051 would have had almost no chance of penetrating our front unless it was loading premium, and even then it would have had a very hard possibility. Either way, we did a very solid job in this game. We were able to deal 3,880 damage and come out with a victory on top of our team. So you can see the strengths and the weaknesses of this tank already in the first battle. The gun is great. Even with the reduced DPM, it was able to get out a very solid chunk of damage. It's just that the moment this tank got threatened, even from basically a one-shot cron, it instantly got threatened. So, let's do one more battle in the 2 and 5B, and we're going to see how it performs. Obviously, I don't think it'll go amazing. This isn't the kind of tank where you pull out ridiculously high damage games anymore, but it definitely can do well. You know, like, I still feel that it's a capable tank because it's such a nice gun. Even with its nerf, its accuracy is like .303 dispersion, it's got ridiculously solid aiming time, and it's got really, really good DPM even with the nerf. So let's see what we can do here. Where is our team going to go? That is the first important question, because when it comes to any game, you need to have a team that supports you or you're going to fall apart. Thankfully, that last battle, we did have a team that somewhat supported me. But right now, not really sure. I'm going to be pushing up towards base B, and we are going to see what happens. So let's drive up to base B. There's the 62A. Alright, and there's the Vickers Light. Okay, well, we got a nice bounce in the turret, and that's a Ho-Ri. Obviously, the Ho-Ri's just going to penetrate right through me. I gotta say, one of the most irritating things in this game for me is Ho-Ri drivers acting like they're heavy tanks and getting away with incredibly aggressive maneuvers, but this is one of those Ho-Ri's, and because it's got so much pen, look at that, right through my turret. Well, boy, Ho-Ri's, aren't they so fun to deal with, ladies and gentlemen? And that's a 183. Let's back up from that before it's too late. Let's see our E75 bounce the Ho-Ri, because how fun. And you know what? I'm going to get another shell right in your tank. There you go. I don't think you're enjoying that anymore, dude, are you? Let's just back up, and we get lit on fire. You can see the armor on this tank just doesn't work. That's the only problem with the vehicle. The armor is just so turd. Like, oh, it gets me frustrated. Alright, so let's see. If this Vickers pokes, I should be able to get a fairly easy shell into his tank. I'm hoping that our E75 gets a shell out as well. There you go. Vickers fired, and honestly, I'm just going to kill this Ho-Ri because he's been annoying me. So there you go. Ho-Ri's dead, and even if this Vickers is going to pen me, which he's going to high roll again right into my lower plate, at least we were able to clear that Ho-Ri. So I'm happy about that because that guy was incredibly annoying. Alright, and oh wow, we actually didn't die. Impressive. Let's get another shell into the Conf Panzer here, and right into the... Oh, no, we don't even need to hit him in the engine deck. Let's miss our shell on the Vickers Light, and let's leave. Because this guy, let's be real, the Vickers is just being annoying. He's not even really winning his team the battle, he's just being annoying. But either way, I could care less, because we're going to get a dub here. When you tunnel the worst performing tank on the enemy team, let's be real, it's probably not going to make a huge impact in the overall effect of this game, and I get the last laugh by killing him. So there you have it. This is the 2 and 5B. I don't think we bounced a single shell this battle, apart from one when we were on the move, and that's really all you need to know about the tank. Its armor is the thing I've always hated on it, is that it just doesn't work, and now that the armor is poor, and you don't have the DPM to really fend for yourself, it's a poor vehicle. Either way, we still did okay in this game. We did 2,300, and at least we came out with a victory. But, personally, I just don't love this tank. Maybe in 9.1 it'll change, but you never know. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye!